Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into, well, the fascinating and frankly a bit alarming world of zoonotic diseases. You know, those infections that jump from animals to humans. Understanding them is really crucial because they have this incredible potential to just ignite global health emergencies.
That's absolutely right. And I think what's often overlooked is that these aren't just, animal problems sort of confined to a farm or out in the wild somewhere. They are critical public health challenges, truly hiding in plain sight, really, and they can impact entire populations. So this deep dive, we're going to extract key insights from a source that focuses exactly on this, showing us just how vital vigilance and proactive measures really are.
Exactly. So our mission for you today is to quickly get you well informed about some, well, truly surprising facts and the absolutely critical role veterinary public health plays in preventing what could be, the next major pandemic. We're drawing directly from the source material here to give you the clearest, most impactful picture we can. Okay, so let's unpack this. Our source, it really wastes no time sounding the alarm right.
Yeah, it does.
Making it abundantly clear that zoonotic diseases are basically global health crises just waiting for the right moment.
Waiting to happen, yeah.
And they give us some incredibly stark examples to illustrate this point. Let's start with rabies, a prime and, honestly, a truly terrifying example. Its agent is the rabies virus, a Lisa virus. We've all heard the name probably, but maybe don't fully grasp the sheer scale of its impact or maybe more surprisingly, its preventability.
Well, and what's truly insightful here, I think, is not just that dog bites transmit rabies, which, yes, they do, accounting for a staggering 99% of human cases.
99%, wow.
Yeah. But it's how a single, remarkably simple intervention can have such a huge impact. The source highlights what it cleverly calls a VPH power move.
Okay.
Which is essentially a high-leverage intervention, mass dog vaccination.
Right, just vaccinating dogs.
Exactly. This isn't just about animal welfare, though that's important too. It's about systematically, eradicating the human threat by targeting the animal reservoir. This simple measure, it can cut human deaths from rabies by an astounding 99%.
99%.
Yeah, which aligns perfectly with the WHO's 0 by 30 plan. It's a really powerful lesson in prevention over cure.
That is an incredible testament to preventative action. But knowing that, what makes the fact from our source even more heartbreaking is this. Rabies still kills 59,000 people globally, every single year.
Yeah, it's tragic.
And most victims are children in Africa and Asia. So what are the biggest hurdles then in getting those vaccines to the communities that really need them most? I mean, beyond just having the vaccine exist.
That's a really crucial question. And the source implies it's not really a scientific hurdle anymore. It's largely logistical and, well, socioeconomic.
Right.
Think about the infrastructure needed for these widespread, sustained vaccination campaigns, especially in rural or remote areas.
Yeah.
Ensuring cold chains for the vaccines, overcoming maybe cultural barriers or just lack of awareness.
Sure.
The knowledge and the tools, they exist. But it's that equitable distribution and implementation that remains the challenge. The source makes it absolutely clear. Rabies isn't just fatal, it's 100% preventable.
100%.
Yeah. And when veterinarians vaccinate dogs, they aren't just looking after animal health. They are, in essence, erecting a human health shield.
A shield, yeah.
Directly saving lives by just breaking that transmission cycle.
Wow. Okay, so speaking of silent threats that lurk in the environment, the source also shines a spotlight on anthrax, a disease whose danger lies not just in its immediate impact, but in its astonishing persistence. Yeah. How does this particular pathogen pose such a long-term risk?
Right, that's where the agent itself becomes key. Bacillus anthracis spores. And the key word there really is spores.
Spores.
These aren't just bacteria, they're incredibly resilient sort of survival capsules. They allow the pathogen to just lay dormant for decades, maybe even centuries, in the soil, just waiting.
Centuries, wow.
Yeah, ready to infect again. So transmission often happens when animals or even humans come into contact with these contaminated environments or infected carcasses. Which brings us to another critical VPH power move the source emphasizes. Carcass burning.
Burning the carcasses.
Yes. And this isn't merely about disposal, getting rid of it. It's absolutely crucial because it neutralizes those incredibly resilient spores. It stops them from persisting in the environment for literally generations and preventing future outbreaks.
And to give you a specific, quite startling example from the source on this, Ethiopia alone reports over 10,000 human cases of anthrax annually.
10,000.
Yeah, that's according to the OIE back in 2023. That feels like a huge number for just one country, especially when you consider that long-term environmental contamination you just described.
It is. And the source really emphasizes the call for vigilance here. When livestock suddenly die, especially unexplained deaths, the immediate thought should be anthrax.
Think anthrax first.
Exactly. Rapid detection and quick action, like, isolating the area and properly burning those carcasses, are paramount. It's the difference between a contained incident and potentially an entire village or even a region becoming a hot zone.
A hot zone.
Yeah, where those spores could remain a threat for decades, impacting farming, livelihoods, and human health again and again.
It's really clear that these two diseases, rabies and anthrax, they're serious, but they're just the tip of the iceberg, aren't they? Our original source, it detailed many more zoonotic diseases that pose similar risks, and what becomes starkly clear when you look at the material is just how vast this challenge truly is. I mean, beyond rabies and anthrax, it flags a whole array of others, each with its own complexities. For instance, there's brucellosis, which can cause chronic, really debilitating illness in humans, often linked to unpasteurized dairy, or HPAI, highly pathogenic avian influenza bird flu, which continually reminds us of the potential for animal viruses to just, jump species again.
Reassert themselves, yeah. Sometimes with deadly efficiency.
Exactly. And the source also lists, BTB bovine tuberculosis, salmonellosis, campylobacteriosis, leptospirosis, echinococcosis, and even the Nipah virus. Each one a unique and significant challenge.
And if we connect all these examples, back to the overarching theme, it truly underscores the profound and often, let's face it, overlooked role of veterinary public health in safeguarding human health on a global scale. These aren't just abstract concepts, right? They are, without a doubt, potential global crises, constantly reminding us of the interconnectedness of all life. They really highlight that health isn't just about humans in isolation. It's about this intricate web between humans, animals, and the environment we share.
So what does this all mean for us, for the listener, beyond just the facts? It feels like a lot to take in, but the implications seem massive.
Well, ultimately, I think what the source helps us understand is that zoonotic diseases are kind of the ultimate cross-species negotiators. Yeah. They don't respect borders, they don't respect species, or even the differences between, say, wild spaces and our own homes. They're constantly testing the boundaries between us and the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
And veterinarians, well, we're the translators, I suppose, the ones who understand the language of these diseases across species.
They're translators.
And just as crucially, we're the bodyguards, working on the front lines to protect all of us from threats we often don't even see coming.
Translators and bodyguards.
Yeah.
That's a powerful way to put it. And maybe that's the thought to mull over then. The critical need for vigilance, yes, but also a deeper recognition of that frontline, often unsung, role of veterinarians, protecting us all from these silent threats operating right between species.
Exactly.
Their work isn't just for animals, it's literally for our lives.